Nobody's talking about this, but they should be. Because what just went down between Cardi B and Nicki Minaj isn't just another celebrity spat. It's personal, it's raw, and it's darker than anyone thought. The internet is buzzing, timelines are flooded, and yet, nobody really knows how deep this runs.
This Nicki Minaj versus Cardi B feud doesn't need to be taken to the booth. It needs to be taken to therapy at this point. Last night, the two rappers continued to talk about each other's children on the timeline, now penning backhanded apologies to their respective kids for their actions. Cardi said that she hopes Nicki goes to rehab, and Nicki said that one day Cardi, her sister, and the rest of her family will be, quote, brought to their knees for what they tried to do to her son. So let's just take a second to zoom out here, right? If you enjoy watching celebrity drama unfold on the timeline, that's your prerogative. But it gets to a point where you have to realize that this back and forth between these two artists has gone well beyond the confines of just being messy. Nicki Minaj has now demonstrated a traceable pattern of going beyond the confines of competitive rap shit-talking. When she was going back and forth with Megan Thee Stallion after Meg brought up her husband's history as a sex offender on Hiss, she immediately retaliated by bringing up Megan's deceased mother in IG Live rants and hurled nasty insults at SZA online a few weeks ago, seemingly out of nowhere.
It all started like any other industry rivalry, a few subtle lines in songs, fans overanalyzing lyrics, whispers of shade thrown at award shows.
For the past few weeks, she's been going on objectively bizarre rants on social media, calling out Jay-Z, Roc Nation, and industry executives who she believes have been trying to stunt her success. And even if you believe there's some legitimacy to Nicki's conspiracy tweets, or that she has only been acting in retaliation to artists subbing her first, you shouldn't be enabling her behavior online, especially if you consider yourself a super fan of hers. This latest back and forth with Cardi B is just a grim reminder that even the most loyal of fans seem to care more about the spectacle of the public fight rather than the condition of the fighters. I'm not here to speculate on Nicki Minaj or Cardi B's mental or emotional health, but whatever is happening right now is not healthy, and it is not hip-hop either. I personally don't want to hear any diss songs from Nicki or Cardi anymore, and I hope no real violence comes from their feud either. Look, it's more important to be human than to be hip-hop, especially when you're...
But behind the gloss and glam, there was tension building for years. Everyone thought they'd moved past it, two queens ruling their own lanes, minding their business. But that illusion shattered fast. Because recently, something shifted. A single post, a single comment, and suddenly, old wounds ripped open again. It wasn't just about rap anymore, it was about respect, ego, and who gets to own the crown. You could feel the energy online change overnight. Fanbases reignited old wars. Every tweet became a weapon. Every like, a statement. And here's the wild part, no one expected it to explode this way. What started as whispers turned into a full-blown storm that even their teams couldn't contain. But how did it really start? Who made the first move this time? And why does it feel like there's more to this than meets the eye? Because the truth is, this wasn't just random. This was years of resentment waiting to blow up, and when it did, it took the entire internet down with it. But that was only the beginning. Nicki had posted what seemed like a harmless clip, a quick snippet from a music video shoot, but fans instantly caught the undertone. A line that sounded a little too familiar, like it was aimed straight at Cardi. Within minutes, comment sections turned into war zones. Barbs started decoding lyrics, Barty gang came swinging with receipts, and what looked like a simple flex quickly became the spark that lit the fire. But Cardi wasn't staying silent. Not this time. She clapped back in the most Cardi way possible, unapologetic, emotional, and raw. Her response wasn't a song, it wasn't an interview, it was an unfiltered message dropped straight on her feed. No PR filters, no sugarcoating, just pure emotion. If you got something to say it, she said, and that line alone broke the internet. Suddenly, every influencer, gossip page, and media outlet was scrambling to cover it. People started digging up old clips, old interviews, old award show moments where tension had been simmering under fake smiles. Even insiders began leaking cryptic DMs hinting that this feud had been reignited behind the scenes weeks before the posts even dropped. But what made this different, what made it explode this time, wasn't just the words. It was the tone. Both women sounded done. No more pretending, no more industry politeness. And the fans? They fed on it like wildfire. Because the truth is, this time, someone crossed a line. Things took a turn no one expected. This wasn't just about music anymore, it had gotten personal. Behind the flashy comments and cryptic posts, you could feel the emotion bleed through. What started as subtle shade was now pure tension, the kind that doesn't fade with a PR apology. It began when fans uncovered a resurfaced clip from an old interview, Nicki casually mentioning some artists who forget who opened doors for them. It wasn't direct, but the timing? Too perfect to be coincidence. Cardi's fans immediately took it as a jab. And within hours, hashtag Nicki Minaj started trending, while Barbs fired back with hashtag Cardi B is pressed. Twitter turned into a digital battlefield, and both fanbases went to war like soldiers with memes instead of ammo. Then Cardi did something no one saw coming.
From Cardi B's Bodak Yellow to New York Fashion Week to now, here's a story on how the Nicki Minaj and Cardi B B beef all began. Summer 2017, Cardi drops Bodak Yellow and it goes #1, making her the first solo female rapper to top the Hot 100 in nearly 20 years. Fans instantly compared her to Nicki, which sparked a talk of competition before the two ever exchanged words. Soon after, Cardi tweeted things like, "Don't compare, don't put me against no other artist, I am Cardi B," basically clapping back at the critics. Around the same time, Nicki was accused of liking a shady comment about Cardi on Instagram. Nicki denied the authenticity of this. Still, it fueled fan theories that there was tension. Then came Motorsport, which featured Nicki, Cardi, and the Migos. A leaked early verse reportedly had Nicki saying, "If Cardi the QB, I'm Nick Lombardi." But in the final cut, Cardi became Quavo. Nicki later said that Quavo and the label asked her to change it, and she felt blindsided when fans accused her of sneak moves. In August 2018, Nicki went on The Late Show with Stephen Colbert. Nicki said things along the lines of, she didn't even know that she and Cardi had an issue until the media made it a story. Basically, she said, "Give me a break." In September 2018, things got real between the two. At Harper's Bazaar Icons during New York Fashion Week, Cardi confronted Nicki. Security rushed in, a shoe was thrown, and it was just chaos.
She liked a post that threw major shade at Nicki's latest single. Just one double tap. But in this world, a like speaks louder than a diss track. The blogs went crazy. Cardi B reignites beef with Nicki Minaj, they screamed. Suddenly, every move either artist made was being dissected in real time. Behind the scenes, though, there were whispers that things had already boiled over long before the public noticed. A few insiders claimed that during a private fashion event, tension between their teams nearly erupted again, a repeat of that infamous Harper's Bazaar incident that shook the internet years ago. Some said there were heated words. Others claimed it was more than that. And the craziest part? Both sides stayed silent. No confirmations, no denials. Just quiet moves that said everything words couldn't. Because silence, in a feud like this, isn't peace, it's preparation. And what came next proved that neither of them were backing down. The silence didn't last long, it never does. When the internet's watching, even the smallest sound becomes an explosion. And this time, both women made sure their voices were heard. It started with a single Instagram live. Cardi popped on with no warning, hair up, no glam, pure attitude.
Cardi later posted this on Instagram, basically saying, "I let you sneak diss me, I let you attempt to stop my bags." Nicki fired back on Queen Radio, saying things along the lines of that she was mortified watching people look at the commotion and that it was humiliating for both of them. In late 2018, Nicki was featured on 6ix9ine's Mama. Fans thought her verse in the song had shade about Cardi with lines like, "I never have to give a rap producer head." Cardi jumped on Instagram Live to clap back, saying, "Nah, I never fed a DJ." Whether or not this verse was aimed at her, the moment just added fuel to the fire. From 2019 to 2024, the feud cooled in the public. However, fans kept the beef alive through memes, commentary, and constant comparisons. Both Cardi and Nicki would occasionally shade each other from time to time, but nothing topped the 2018 blowout. Fast forward to now in 2025, the two reignited their feud on social media. Both of them also threw jabs at each other's children as well. And just like that, the war was hot again. The two have seemed to put a pause on their social media feud, but we never know what's going to happen in the future.
She didn't mention names, but everyone knew exactly who she was talking about. Her tone? Calm but sharp. Every sentence dripped with energy that screamed, "I've had enough." She said things like, "People love to act innocent after throwing rocks, and I'm not the one to play victim." The comments section went insane, thousands typing Nicki's name even though Cardi never said it once. But then, Nicki responded in the most Nicki way possible, with precision. She didn't go live. She dropped a perfectly timed post, a photo, a caption, and a line that felt like a dagger wrapped in poetry.
Y'all, it's so much going on Twitter right now. Like, so much. It's really ridiculous. But we gonna get into it. You know, I'm gonna do my best to try and sum it up. So we gonna start with Nicki and Cardi. I'm gonna keep saying that this Nicki Minaj and Cardi beef is never gonna end because of the fans. The fan bases hate each other. The Barbs and Barty gang hate each other's guts. And because of that, anytime any one of them does something, it's gonna be a competition every time. Cardi B's album sold 199.6K and debuted at #1, which is actually good because none of the other female rappers except Nicki Minaj can even get over 100K. Nicki Minaj's last album, Pink Friday 2, did 225K. And so the issue is, and the whole uproar is, I guess Cardi B was in spaces saying they don't want me to drop because they're going to be mad because I'm going to outsell and I'm going to do my big one. Also, in the middle of the week, she said bookmark the tweets because when these numbers drop, they're going to be gagged. Mind you, I see both sides of this because Cardi B never said I'm going to outsell Nicki Minaj. She never put a name on it. She could have been talking about anybody. But then again, on the other side, when the midweek predictions came out, the only people talking about it was the Bars because they was like, she's not going to outsell Nicki. There's nothing that you can do. And if she do, it's going to be cheating and all this stuff like that. And so because 225K was not beat, it's a whole uproar going on. And that's what all this talk is about. But also, I'm going to be honest with you. If Cardi B would have outsold 225K, the Barty gang would be doing exactly what the Barbs are doing. Because to me, who the hell cares what somebody sells if the music is good? But then again, I know it's a competition, and the way that they be going back and forth, it's a thing. So that's why it's a thing.
When you're the blueprint, copies always fade faster. No tags, no mentions, just cold elegance. The internet went feral. Fans clipped both moments side by side, adding dramatic music, making edits, writing think pieces. Suddenly, this wasn't just a feud, it was a cultural event. News outlets covered it like politics. Brands tried to sneak in memes for clout. And everyone, from other rappers to random TikTok creators, had an opinion. What made this round so intense was how personal the emotion felt. Cardi's frustration came from exhaustion, the need to defend her place in an industry that constantly pits women against each other. Nicki's response carried the weight of legacy, the unspoken reminder that she's been dominating for over a decade. And in that emotional collision, something powerful happened. The world split in two again.
Good afternoon, it's Just for the Mess and my news is real. Looks like Cardi B's Am I the Drama album has some hit dogs hollering. Nicki Minaj refers to all of Cardi B's children as monkeys. But when Erica Mena called Shorty a monkey, we tried to deport her. This is crazy. Am I the only one that remembers back in her Queen radio days?
Onika Tanya Mirage would never, has never, and will never speak ill of anyone's child. I am not a clown. That's clown shit.
Cardi B claps back, speaking on Nicki Minaj's son. Bitch, fuck that slow-ass son that came out your pussy. Now he a whole 5-year-old tiptoeing around the house and can't spell his name. Cardi B also alleged Nicki Minaj's son's favorite color is 5. Oh, fuck that. Gloves is off. Nicki gotta post her son talking today. Right now. You got it after that? Shit, I don't give a fuck. I'd have flew into Tudor last night to prepare him for today. If he can't talk. Nigga, teach him Spanish. I don't give a fuck. Teach him every code. Meanwhile, Offset's on tour not giving a fuck. Oh, wow. Yeah. Turk and kick. Woo! Ooh, 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 ooh. Let me hop. She also alleged Jay-Z and Beyonce stole a pose that her and her husband had done. Niggas stealing everything but the drugs. Still the motherfucking drugs. Nicki Minaj also threatens Cardi B's sponsors, telling them they have 3 days to cut ties or else. Bitch, your dealer got 3 days to cut ties or else you gon' OD. Cardi, please don't make another album.
But what came next made the feud feel less like drama and more like destiny. The feud wasn't just about shade anymore. What started as playful jabs had slowly morphed into a deep dive into history, family, and old wounds. Cardi B began dropping subtle hints on social media, referencing moments from Nicki's past, things only someone paying close attention would know. Fans noticed the pattern. Cardi wasn't just retaliating, she was exposing layers of personal pain that Nicki had long tried to keep private. Meanwhile, Nicki didn't stay quiet. She unleashed a barrage of cryptic posts, some pointing toward her family struggles, others hinting at betrayals by people closest to her. One viral post showed her with a reflective look, captioned, "Some lessons cost more than money. Some people cost more than trust." The internet instantly interpreted it as a jab at Cardi, but others speculated it was a broader statement on her life in the industry. Things got darker when Cardi openly discussed the impact of negativity on her family. She posted a heartfelt story about her daughter culture, subtly reminding the world that children should never be pulled into adult battles. Nicki's reactions escalated. Now there were posts that seemed to play on jealousy and comparison, adding fuel to a fire that was already out of control. Fans began noticing connections to old controversies, past relationships, and even alleged industry betrayals that both women had endured. This section of the feud gave fans a rare peek behind the curtain. It wasn't just rap, it was real-life emotion spilling online, unfiltered, raw, and intense. The public saw not only competition but pain, trauma, and unresolved history intertwined with fame and power struggles. The emotional stakes were sky-high. Comments poured in, some praised Cardi's boldness, others worried she was taking it too far. And Nicki supporters doubled down, claiming she was being misrepresented. The feud had reached a point where every post, every story, every subtle caption carried meaning. Fans weren't just watching a rivalry, they were witnessing two women's histories clash live on the internet. By now, the feud had exploded on social media. Instagram and Twitter became battlegrounds, with both Cardi and Nicki posting cryptic messages, memes, and clips that seemed harmless at first but carried hidden jabs. Fans analyzed every caption, every emoji, and every like, trying to decode who was winning, who was hurting, and who might respond next. Cardi went live on Instagram one night, visibly frustrated, venting about loyalty, fake friends, and trust. Her words were sharp but raw, painting a picture of someone tired of being underestimated. Within hours, clips of her live session were trending everywhere. Memes were created, reactions poured in, and media outlets picked up every second. Nicki, in response, posted a series of videos highlighting her achievements and subtly pointing at alleged betrayals, suggesting that she had been wronged before and was no stranger to conflict. The public couldn't get enough. Every post sparked debates, fans dissected body language, facial expressions, tone of voice, and timing. One viral moment came when Cardi shared a video of a past interview where Nicki had made comments about collaboration, making it seem like a pattern of dismissiveness. Nicki's side retaliated with an older clip showing Cardi praising someone else, twisting the narrative into hypocrisy. The feud now had layers: past grievances, public perception, and personal pride all clashing in real time. Influencers, journalists, and fans alike weighed in, creating a feedback loop of chaos. The more they posted, the bigger the storm. Even celebrities started choosing sides, adding star power to what had once been a two-person dispute. By the end of this phase, the internet had transformed a feud into a spectacle of drama, psychology, and strategy. Every move mattered, every post was a weapon, and no one could look away. Everything was now teetering on the edge of chaos. Cardi B and Nicki Minaj weren't just exchanging jabs online, the tension had escalated to real-world confrontation territory. Rumors swirled that both had been spotted in New York, allegedly heading toward the same event. Social media timelines exploded with speculation, fans, paparazzi, and influencers all wondering if the feud would finally turn physical. Meanwhile, online, the war intensified. Cardi dropped a series of tweets and Instagram posts exposing personal truths about Nicki, her family, and alleged past choices. Every word hit hard, aiming to dismantle the narrative Nicki had been projecting. Nicki responded with cryptic posts mixing spiritual references, AI-generated memes, and accusations aimed at undermining Cardi's credibility. Fans were caught in a whirlwind of emotion, gossip, and disbelief, struggling to track who had the upper hand. The stakes were higher than ever because family became involved. Cardi's tweets defending her daughter, culture, and calling out Nicki for past behavior showed that this was no longer just rap beef. Now, personal pain and maternal instinct were in play. Meanwhile, Nicki's posts referencing her own family and past trauma suggested she was spiraling, blending past grievances with present conflict. The internet was split. Some felt Cardi's retaliation was justified, while others were concerned about the depth of the hostility. By the time the climax peaked, it was clear that this feud had crossed every boundary. Music, personal pride, family, and social perception all collided. Memes, news clips, and fan reactions flooded every platform. Social media had become a magnifying glass, amplifying every misstep, every sharp comment, and every secret revealed. In the end, the Cardi B vs Nicki Minaj saga wasn't just a story about rap rivalry. It was a case study in modern celebrity warfare, ego, family, personal trauma, and the power of social media converging into a spectacle that the world couldn't stop watching.
The Cardi B-Nicki Minaj feud is back on full blast. Cardi B went on the Call Her Daddy podcast to promote her new album and said that some people think she got in the industry just to replace some people. See, Nicki Minaj took to X, previously known as Twitter. Okay. Sorry. Nicki started with $4.99. Single, done, interesting, that's it. I haven't bought anything on iTunes since Steve Jobs died, so. And she said ABCDEFG, surgery to look like me, really tell the rat and tell Jay-Z, Rico, fraud and perjury, falling off charts with a big belly, running trains, barefoot, still smelly, still, you could not outsell me, scooty butt, rat-ta-ta-ta. To which Cardi B just said, you must have missed me, huh? Crazy, now kiss my feet. Which is crazy. You've been in the game like 16 years. You need to compare yourself to your peers that started around your time. Rihanna, Taylor Swift, Drake. Those are the numbers you need to be competing with, and you can't because you're doing lower than all of them. And quite frankly, in this scenario, it does kind of feel like Nicki Minaj is being the drama. I mean, she even had a feud with Lil' Kim. I've been reading the comments. Yes. And the comments... Never read the comments. Never read the comments, but if you do read the comments, then you will see that people are basically saying Nicki Minaj is not a girl's girl, that her and Cardi don't have to compete. There's enough space in the industry for both of them. But right now, I'm just like, Nicki, yo, chill out. Like, Starship, Super Bass, like, these are great, you know? These are great. I don't know the best way to say this. If you know any verse to Super Bass, women will talk to you at any time. If it comes on at the club and I know what I just did there, confidently, it's game over. What does that mean? It means you should learn. Well, you never assume. To be honest, I've never tried it. Maybe I'm just gonna go out today and I'm gonna see a girl that's attractive and say, hey, you want me to sing Super Bass? No, don't do that. That scares them. And then I'll play it on my phone. Nope. And I'll go, not necessary.